keeps it in a 7-point game. Milwaukee gets the steal. Goes in. And she's gone. Lamla in the paint. Making rebound goal. First with the flash.
Coming up on this edition of UND Sports Extra, the men's basketball squad takes aim at the collegeinsider.com Postseason Tournament, hosting its first ever playoff home game in the D1 era. Head coach Brian Jones is here to tell us all about it. The UND women's basketball team also makes history with a postseason game at the Betty as Travis Brewster and company make a run in the women's basketball Invitational. The coach is in the house in just a bit, and athletics director Brian Faison will join us later to update you on everything you need to know about the state of UND athletics. We begin with head men's basketball coach Brian Jones. And coach, it was a historic moment last week, the first home game in Division I era in the postseason, and it turned out to be an entertaining affair for the fans that came out to support the team.
It was a great college basketball game. One, we are so grateful that administration allowed us to host a game, and our fans showed up and really supported the guys. I think that's what we saw the second half of the season. The fans really rallied around our group, and we're so grateful for that. And I thought our guys played well. It was a great college environment, even for a CIT game. Sometimes we all know when you don't make the big dance, the energies at times can be a little low, but I thought both teams really played well. Entertaining game. Went to overtime. With our last two games, obviously came up a little bit short in 45 minutes of play, but I give our guys a lot of credit. They stayed the course. They really battled and gave us what they could give us and really grew through the experience.
Absolutely. Well, let's go back to last Wednesday, a game you saw here on Midco Sports Network. UC Irvine in the house. And a lot of fans were intrigued to come out and see one Mamadou Ndiaye, the 7'6" sensation. He only played 8 minutes, had to leave with injury, but your evaluation on trying to defend him for the time
As you're
you did.
seeing right there, what do you do? I mean, it was I've never seen so many cameras lined up just for the jump ball, and we won it, so that's a positive.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the story for UND in the first half of this one, Coach, was the three ball, shooting 50% from beyond the arc in the first half, and a variety of players getting involved.
We did. I think we made 7 of 14 in that half. Again, extra passes. That's what you've seen from this team all year long. So we were able to capitalize on that.
4-point lead at the break for UND. Second half, such a strong game by one Gino Crandall, knocking down the three here. He was red hot for you all game long, led your team with 22 points.
He was the one guy I thought even throughout the course of the game he was able to make jump shots against that zone. We had other guys a little spurty at times, but as you're seeing, it's just not threes. It's inside out, it's a pull-up, it's at the rim, it's variety there, and that's what you have to have against the zone.
This one, a close one throughout, as we mentioned, 14 ties, 15 lead changes. Quentin Hooker with a chance to win it at the buzzer. I think you were a little excited there, Coach, running down the bench.
I thought I was in.
Yep, you were ready to head for the locker room. So we go to OT in the extra session. Adam McDermott knocking down a big three, but then UC Irvine answers with a key 5-0 stretch that's capped off by the nice feed here to Mike Best for the dunk. And Crandall with 2 more chances to tie it at the end, but can't get the three to fall. And that leads to UC Irvine pulling it out, Coach.
Yeah, you know what? We lost a couple of their guys in transition, but we didn't give enough. We talked about it in pregame. Best number 33. He had a huge game, so talented, but he gets overshadowed because of their guards. They have 2 talented guards, and obviously by Ndiaye. He's a senior. They're a veteran team. They're a talented team. They won 26 games on the year, as you see right there by the stats. They won their league. They had an RPI of 80. So we are grateful. We lost the game, but we competed against a team of that caliber in our building with the youth that we had. But also we're excited we were able to get a team like that caliber in our building. It just doesn't happen. It hasn't happened in our Division I existence. So hopefully that's a sign for things to come. People are willing to come here knowing they're going to play in front of a great crowd and get a good product.
It was a different feel to that game, like I mentioned. I mean, it was coming through even for those of us that were working in the truck during the broadcast. You could feel it. It had a different feel for it, something that hopefully fans will remember going down the road. And when you look at the future of this team, Coach, it looks like it's very bright with all the key players coming back. To quote Brett Favre from back in the day, the pieces are in place, so to speak.
No question. Obviously, with the maturity, they got to continue to get better. They understand what they did this year won't be good enough next year. That's just part of the maturation process. So we, through all the things, we got to get bigger. We got to get strong. We just got to continue to grow and mature and continue to be unselfish. That's what you saw from this group all year long. willing to serve one another, willing to make the extra pass, willing to help one another during the good and the bad times. And to me, that just shows you what goes on in that locker room on a day-to-day basis.
Certainly on the right track, more than doubling your win total from a year ago. The bar will certainly be set high for the UND men's hoops team next season. Thanks for all your time here on the show, Brian. We appreciate it. We're back with head women's basketball coach Travis Brewster right after this as UND continues postseason basketball on campus.
UND Sports Extra on Midco Sports Network is presented by the University of North Dakota, RideLCars.com, and Farmers Union Insurance.
Welcome back, the UND women's basketball squad in postseason mode as well. Coach, you make the WBI, the Women's Basketball Invitational, and as a bonus, you're a 3 seed, which means you start out the tournament playing at home. Talk a little bit about the meaning of being able to come back to the Betty and perform in front of the home crowd.
Well, the big thing is we had the support of the administration to be able to have that opportunity. That's not an easy thing to get all the time. We're pretty fortunate here at the University of North Dakota. I think it's a great thing for our fans and then for the players. So it was fun, and that's the best way I can say is be able to play in front of your home crowd is always fun.
The run began in the WBI in the first round at home against Grand Canyon last Thursday. You saw the game here on Midco Sports Network in the first quarter. A healthy start for UND. Magaila Dyer knocking down the triple as UND built a quick 7-point lead in the second quarter, though. Grand Canyon comes back with a vengeance. Jessica Gajewski buries the three-pointer just before the halftime buzzer. Grand Canyon by 6 at the half, but in the third quarter, Coach, your team would answer back by way of Maya Lloyd.
Yeah, I thought Maya had a tremendous game, being a senior one to do things the right way in your senior year on your home floor. But she did a great job getting herself in positions to, obviously get rebounds, obviously to get easy scores. Good putback by Jill there.
Yeah, Jill Morton with the putback there. Lloyd with another 15-footer later on. Your team would get within 1 point on several different occasions in the third quarter. But in the fourth, Grand Canyon would see its lead grow. Courtney Hayes with the drive for 2 as the Lopes go up by 7. But UND would close the game on a 13-0 run over the final 6 and change.
Yeah, I thought we did a good job moving the ball and attacking the hoop at the right time. But it was our defense that kind of got us back in the game. Maya did a great job of drawing double teams and kicking at the same time. And, Samantha Roscoe was solid for us.
Absolutely. And then guess who later on? It's Lloyd. And again, from 15 feet, she's deadly from that range. She had 12 points, 10 rebounds. UND up by 3 and going on to win 57-51 the final. The fourth quarter was the strong showing for UND, outscoring Grand Canyon 15-7. And Coach, you knew going into this game that you could play a second straight home game. Was that a part of your pregame message going into this?
Well, it was definitely part of the motivation to talk with the team. Being able to be the first program to win a game postseason non-hockey is kind of a big deal. Now, obviously, we've had a lot of success in Division II era doing that as well. But, they were fired up about it, and at this time of the year, everybody's kind of running on the same type of fume system right at the moment. It comes down to who's more mentally tough at the situation, and I thought they did a good job. Yeah,
first Division I postseason win, a major accomplishment indeed. So the tournament continues into the quarterfinal round on Sunday evening against Weber State, a familiar foe of yours, playing them in the Big Sky, and another strong start for your team. You jump out to a 7-0 lead early.
Well, we were knocking down the open shots. We were running triangle 2 on Magaila and Maya, and Samantha Roscoe and Fallon did a good job of stepping up and knocking down those shots, and just really taking advantage of the situation. It's one of those things, we were a little bit bigger in stature, so we had to crash the boards for a little bit.
Absolutely. Later in the half, Frigi knocking down another 3. She had 14 points. Roscoe, you saw earlier, had a team-high 22. UND up by 4 at the half in the third quarter, though. This quarter belonged to Weber State. Callie Quinn draining the 3. And then later, Deshira Thomas. She was a thorn in the side of UND all evening long, taking it all the way to the hoop for 2 here. Weber State building a 10-point lead, outscoring UND 30-19 in the third quarter. But in the fourth quarter, your team battles back once again.
Yeah, we did a good job of battling back. We dug ourselves into a tremendous hole. We gave up 38 points in layups. That's a tough thing to do. But you credit the team again for just scrapping, and just trying to battle back.
Roscoe's jumper tied the game under 2 to go. Thomas hits a 3 in the corner to put Weber State up by 2, but under a minute to go now. Morton with a great feed to Lloyd down low to tie things back up. In the closing seconds, the inbound for Weber comes to Thomas. She will drive to the dish for 2 more. Weber State leading by 2, and Knox with one last final heave at the buzzer, but it does not fall. Close, but not close enough. Weber State hangs on to win 76-74, bringing UND's season to a screeching halt. Lloyd with 8 points and 17 rebounds. Thomas with a game-high 30 for Weber State. And a difficult loss, Coach, to say the least, the way this one closed out. Not an easy way to go out.
No, but at the same time, when you're playing the game, you want to give yourself an opportunity. And we dug ourselves in a hole, and we got ourselves back out. And it's one of those things. There's a lot of things that could have been. And you can't sit there and look at it like that anymore for this season. We should be excited about what the season brought to us. Starting out 1-5 overall, 1-4 in conference, and turn around finishing 19-14, obviously, and 13-5. Postseason play. This team battled a lot of adversity through injuries, battling things off the floor to really rally around and get to this point.
This is a team that you accurately described as the cardiac kids for all the comebacks that they had, the close W's that they were able to get. The future for this team, what does that look like? You lose Maya Lloyd and Kelsey Knox, obviously, to graduation. A lot of pieces coming back, and a lot of freshmen that got a lot of valuable experience this year.
Well, you guys, I got to think of the 2 seniors, obviously, with their playing time and what they've done, and the ladies that have put their time in. But with the returners, they see what it takes a little bit. They understand now that second season goes a little bit longer and that third season goes longer, so they know it's coming up. But there's a little bit of work to be done, but excited about what it holds for us.
Absolutely. A 19-14 season, Coach. Congratulations on all the accomplishments, including the first Division I postseason win for women's basketball here at UND.
Well, I'd like to thank you guys for what you did and thank the community as well. I mean, it's you can't do any of this stuff without the right people.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Travis, for all your time here on the program. Stay with us. We're back with Athletics Director Brian Faison next.
UND Sports Extra on Midco Sports Network is presented by the University of North Dakota, RideLCars.com, and Farmers Union Insurance.
Welcome back. We're pleased to have Athletics Director Brian Faison join the program here on UND Sports Extra. Brian, thanks for coming back onto our program. Want to talk about the whole calendar year as a whole. There were some major milestones made by a lot of teams this year. Football getting their first ever FBS win and having a successful year. Basketball teams just hosted their first D1 postseason games. Men's hockey back in the NCAA tournament, and amongst all the other things. How do you evaluate this last calendar year of athletics here?
It's been a strong year for us. This is probably, of all the years I've been here, this may be the strongest overall in terms of our teams, in terms of competition, and it was exciting to watch it unfold, and doggone it, we got to the end with a couple of them, but in areas that were new for us. Basketball, for example, not only the opportunity to play postseason, but the opportunity to host at home was what an incredible opportunity for us. And football, I mean, what an exceptional season, and what a shame at the end that they weren't rewarded for what arguably was a great effort throughout the season, and they deserved to be in, and they didn't get in. That was a shame.
Yeah, that's a feeling that is still going to take a long time. Hopefully it gets resolved next year when they make the field of the NCAA tournament there. And academically, student athletes at UND continuing to be successful both on the field and in the classroom. 19 of 21 teams achieving a 3.0 GPA or higher. That's a significant accomplishment as well. It
is, and you always wonder every semester, okay, maybe with 450 student athletes, maybe we won't quite break the last semester's mark or the last year's mark, but they keep doing it. It's a great testament, I think, to our student athletes and their focus, but also to our coaches in supporting them in terms of their academic efforts, because it can be a team effort at times with schedules and tutoring and proctoring exams on the road and those kinds of things. Our league's great, by the way, the Big Sky, in helping proctor tests on the road, which is really a big help. But you had 73% of our student athletes had a 4.0.
That's incredible.
And you have 40 of them with a 4.0 that are cum. I mean, that's remarkable. So we're awfully proud of them, and it's good to see that it continues. And we'll do everything we can. Our academic sport does a great job in helping out as well.
On a different note, there was an announcement by St. Cloud State last month. that involved cutting some programs. Budgets are getting tighter across the board. Based on the half dozen programs that were cut at St. Cloud State, is that something that you see that could become a more broader trend, and is that something that you may be faced with here at UND?
I don't think there's any question that it will be a trend at the Division I level. How much and where, I guess, is still a question mark. But I don't think there's any question that schools are under incredible economic pressures right now, and in various different ways in very different locations, obviously. But it's a situation that we're not immune to. We're part of the university, and when the university has tough economic times, we share in that. So we'll see how things play out, but I think it's definitely going to be something you'll see on a national basis.
This summer will provide UND fans with another historical moment with the logo that will be unveiled sometime. Kind of catch us up to speed on where that process is at and where it's going.
The design process is on track for May 31st delivery. And obviously that's something that's going to be important as we transition next year. Problem is you'd love to be able to make a clean break and do the whole thing at one time. That's not going to be possible. Sure. Uniforms, fields, those kinds of things. They're just more time and cost involved in that than we're going to be in a position to do. But we'll roll out as aggressively as we can once we have that mark. But right now they're on track. And we had a meeting yesterday. It was just kind of a status update with the design firm, and everything's still on track for May 31st.
All right. Thanks very much for your time, Brian. Appreciate you coming on to the program, and thanks to all your coaches and staff members that have helped us along the way here on our fourth season of UND Sports Extra. Stay with us. We're back with more right after this.
UND Sports Extra on Midco Sports Network is presented by the University of North Dakota, RideLCars.com, and Farmers Union Insurance.
Welcome back. The UND softball team is on a tear after taking 5 straight and winning the Santa Clara Invitational this past weekend. UND opened the tournament on Friday against Dartmouth, winning 1-0, then took down host Santa Clara 9-1 in 6 innings to close out the day. On Saturday, a couple more wins came in for UND. A 3-0 win against Cal State Bakersfield and a 6-2 victory against Colgate, and then rounding out the tournament with a win against Iona on Sunday, winning 4-2. Kalen Vandemelen, the story for UND, pitched 3 complete games, had 24 strikeouts, and a .67 ERA for the tournament. With 10 wins now, UND opens up Big Sky play this weekend at Sacramento State. Stay with us. We close out our 4th season of UND Sports Extra right after this.
UND Sports Extra on Midco Sports Network is presented by the University of North Dakota, RideLCars.com, and Farmers Union Insurance.
We began our 4th season of UND Sports Extra back in early September, and how quickly the season has gone along. We want to thank all of the UND staff and administrators and coaches that have helped make this show possible, along with our sponsors and, of course, you, the viewers, that have tuned in each and every week to catch up on UND athletics. We leave you now with some highlights from all of the sports we covered this past season, put together by our own Marty Mueller. Thanks for joining us.